Hey y'all, I'm James Wright. Welcome to my shop. And this video is going to be a little different because these saws have teeth on both sides. Let me start off by saying that I am a Western saw user. I love Western saws. I've learned how to control them. I know how to use them, and I can get some amazing things done with it. But there are a lot of nice things about Japanese saws. Number one, you can buy them for $40, whereas those saws, they go very expensive. Also, as I've been teaching more and more beginners, I tend to find that most people can pick one of these up much faster than a Western saw. Now, I have found that once you get the skill, the Western saw can do a bunch of things that these can't do, but when you're first getting started, the affordability and the ease of use, you can't beat that. Not to mention, when I'm teaching my kids, I don't want to hand them a $300 saw that they really have a hard time using. This is difficult for a younger kid to use. Whereas I can give them an affordable Ryoba that they can just cut. And even when my kids were 4 and 5 years old, they could cut a board with this. They could not cut a board with this. This took more power than they had. And as I look more and more at possibly devoting a year of my woodworking to Japanese woodworking and honing my skill in this particular craft, I've started to collect some more tools, including some of the really nice handmade originals. But that also means that I'm testing out a bunch of different companies to see which ones actually make saws that work well and cut efficiently and quickly and affordably. Oddly enough, weird story, the second hand saw that I ever purchased was the Ryoba from Harbor Freight. Plastic handle, folding saw, worked kind of cool, interesting, until one day I got so frustrated that I threw it across the room and the blade bent and I threw it away. So I'm not talking about that one because it works and it's cheap, but it's cheap. So let's look at the next step up from Harbor Freight. Let's get into a saw that, if you take care of it, will last you for a long time. Number one, this is actually old stock Japanese, handmade in the 80s. And I was able to pick up one of these and I'm looking forward to putting a handle on it. But these, you start getting into the price of some of the Western saws. There are a bunch of cheaper brands out there. This is one that came from Japan, but there are so many of them that I don't really want to talk about them because I would be talking about lots and lots of them. And the price jump up from the cheap no-names up to the really decent tools isn't that much. And so generally I'm gonna say stay away from the cheap ones, spend a couple dollars more, and go get yourself a nice one. Right now, there's two in that category that I look at. One is from Suzanne. It's got a wrapped handle. Suzanne, I would love to know how to pronounce that better. The other one is Temple Tool Company. This is actually made by Chris from Third Coast Craftsman. He's a good friend of mine, and his idea is to make a Japanese saw with some Western use to it. So it's kind of interesting. And these two saws are exactly the same price. They're both about $45. Both companies also make Dizuki, and both companies also make flush cut saws. Ooh, there's a big pet peeve of mine. These are not flush cut saws. Don't use a Ryoba as a flush cut saw. It's got set on the teeth. It's gonna rip up your surface. What are you thinking? Get a flush cut saw. Yes, they come in both Western and Japanese versions. Both cultures made them because both cultures had a need to flush cut things. Both the Suzanne and the Temple Tool Company both use hardened teeth. So they're gonna last you a long time, but at some point you're gonna wanna replace them, and in that case, that means you actually take the blade off. With Temple Tool, there's a nut on here, and on this one, there's actually a split nut. Split nut's kinda cool, but honestly, the nut is easier to work with. On the other side, the Temple Tool Works has a flat slot, and the Suzanne has a Phillips. Give me the flat slot. The Suzanne has a wrapped handle, which gives you some texture. This is a fairly traditional way to do it. Whereas the Temple Tool Company has this smooth handle that really feels more like a Western saw. It's a little bit thin for my liking, but a lot of people like that thinner feeling, so it's kind of a personal preference. As to how do they cut, that's the same amount of strokes, and can you tell which one came from which saw? Honestly, they're both pretty clean. On the back side though, it's a little bit of a different story. One of them is pretty rough and the other one is really nice and clean. This is the Suzanne and this is the Temple Tool Works. And yes, both blades are brand new, so we're getting a good combination. The Temple Tool Works gave me a little bit cleaner cut on the rip. Let's try a cross cut. One of these two cut deeper than the other one. And this one, the one that didn't cut as deep, is a little bit rougher, not too much. But on my side of the board, the one that is deeper and the one, they're actually about the same on this side. So that's really not that big a difference. But can you tell which one was which? The deeper one was the Temple Toolworks, and the one that's a little shallower, that's the Suzanne. Now, yes, I know, a bunch of you are screaming, that's not a scientific test. It was one cut each. That's really a bad test. I would really love to go at this and throw a big spreadsheet at it. Maybe I will in the future, but I just want to show that they're very, very close. And it's one of those things that, honestly, it comes down to which handle do you prefer more. I love the aesthetics of this and the look of it, but some people might like the texture of the Suzanne. So it's one of those things of, which one do you like? When it comes down to the Ryoba, though, they're night and day. The Temple tool has this long blade, and the Suzanne is a much shorter. And I really don't like this short blade. I've had to replace this one 3 times because they keep kinking because I pull them out too far and crush them when they go back in. I have not had that problem with the Temple Toolworks, and a longer stroke is more efficient and cleaner, and just, I like this. This is much better, and for a very similar price, and for a much similar price, Temple Toolworks wins when it comes to the Dazuki. It's a very similar thing with the flush cut saws. The Temple Toolworks is a lot longer than the Suzanne, just giving you that little more stroke. They're about the same thickness and flexibility. The Temple Toolworks is a little bit nicer, bigger handle, and I enjoy this one much more. Now, all of that being said, it's one of those things where most of these are kind of come down to a little bit more of a personal preference. The average beginner would not be able to tell the difference between them, and they both cut really well. They both do amazingly good work. Which one should you get? It depends on you. Get both and see which one you like. But for those of you who stuck around this long in the video, I've got something special. All of these tools here I got because I wanted them and not doing this biased because some company is telling me. But I do have to say, Temple Tool sent me one of each, 2 Dazuki and a Ryoba. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give these away to you. Honestly, Chris, he's a friend of mine, and I've actually tried to do a collab with him a couple times, but we've just never been able to make it work. And he does some good stuff. So I'm going to be giving these away to someone on my mailing list. A week from now, I'm going to pick 3 people on there, and I'm going to be sending these out. So if you'd like to be on there, I'll leave a link down below of how you can join the mailing list and get onto that. And just so you know, mailing list doesn't mean I spam people with it. It's actually a list of upcoming tool events around the world. So if you actually want to stay abreast of tool sales and other things like that happening all over the place, the mailing list is a good way to do it because I always have a list of the next things coming up. So yeah, join on there and you might win a saw. So all that being said, which saw should you get? I don't care, it's your money, go spend it the way you want it. I'll leave links to all of them down below. But honestly, if it were me, I think I would lean a little bit more towards the Temple tool, but they're being the same price, it really kind of comes down to what do you want? Unless you're getting a Dazuki or a flush cut saw, in that case, it's Temple Toolworks all the way. I mean, brass back, longer handle, longer blade, all around, just a much more enjoyable saw. So yeah, there you go. So I hope you like this a little bit different video, and I'm probably going to be experimenting and playing with these more, so stay tuned. You might see some other things coming out. We've got some interesting things coming up, like I really want to make a handle for this. And I do have to warn you, because we're doing a giveaway, people might put things down in the chat. If someone responds to you in the chat, it's not me. I will respond in an email. So I hope you like this. If you have any questions, thoughts, ideas, snide remarks, throw those down below. And I'm looking forward to reading what you put down there because I do read through all of them and I answer as many as I can get to. Also, I want to say a huge thank you to all the names scrolling over here, especially The Man. You may want to say thank you to them as well because they're the ones that make this channel happen. Without them, I wouldn't be here. They're the ones who allow me to purchase tools to actually show to you. And without patrons, I would have to stop in the middle of every video and do a blurb about some mattress. I really don't like doing that. So thank you to patrons. And if you'd like to find out more about that and help them out, then think about doing that down below. I think that'll do it for now. And until next time, have a wonderful day. Now I have a deep craving for sushi. I wonder how a Dazuki does for cutting rolls.